Hello, hello. Welcome to the first ever edition of my daily drips for drowning out the ego, motivational kind of snippet videos that I kind of had the inspiration to do for a long time, but I have never actually taken action on it. So here I am showing up. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and I actually started a YouTube channel called Real Life with Leslie probably about 2 years ago, and legit have maybe, like, 1 video on there. And honestly, I just haven't showed up there because I've been scared. It's kind of fearful for me to put myself out there and share my story. But as of late, I've really just been getting this ping that I need to start being more transparent with who I am and what my story is. And, for those who that resonates with, that's great. And for those that it doesn't, that's fine too. Like, you do not have to watch this video. Feel free to hit stop at any time. Um, but these videos really are just going to be like short snippets that really are a call to action for you to kind of contemplate a question maybe for the day or a thought for the day, just to kind of really get you thinking about the way that you're perceiving life from your view, and maybe the way that you're taking on and onboarding things that aren't yours, and those are affecting your everyday life as well. So in full transparency, I legit just got out of the shower. I've been wanting to set up doing these snippets on the YouTube channel, and then I'll as well kind of doing a podcast mini series of this as well. And I was gonna have my fiance set me up with like his nice microphone, like the computer, the camera, like all the nice things. And so I got up this morning with like the full intention of recording my first video, right? And then I hop on the computer and I go to hit start, and he has me on like some like studio recording program, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I don't even know how to operate this thing. And so I instantly went into like fear mode, like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, I'm not gonna do this. I went downstairs and was like, hey, is this ready? Is this set up? And he's like, no, give me 45 minutes. And I instantly went into, nope, not doing it, fuck it, like, I need to strike while the iron's hot, I got to do it. And I was making up all these excuses of why I wasn't going to hit record today and do this first episode. And so I hopped in the shower, obviously, like fresh out of the shower. Honestly, I haven't even brushed my hair yet. Please don't judge me. It is what it is. But I think that the message for today more is not about what I look like, obviously. But I mean, I am looking cute either way. The message is what's important. So I am showing up here. And honestly, I'm kind of like shaking and I'm really, really nervous. But I did a really insightful practice the other day where I made like a timeline of my life. And it was from like birth to where I am now, which is 39 years. And excuse me if I get emotional. But I went through and I made milestones of all the meaningful things in my life along the way from birth until now. And when I looked at the things that I had marked down along the way, I realized, and I don't want to seem like I'm in victim mode when I say this, but my life has been kind of filled with a lot of rough patches. And honestly, I've had to overcome a lot of different things in life, and it's been challenging. And I never, ever wanted to come out into the world and be viewed as someone who lives from like a victim mentality, because those who know me know that that's like totally not who I am. But the reality is, like, I've been through some shit. And I think a big part of like sharing those things with other people, obviously, is like a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. There's going to be people on this call or video who watch it who have known me. Like, I grew up in a small town. I went to the same school my entire life. There's going to be people who watch this video who are family. There's going to be people who watch this video who are friends. There's going to be people who watch this video that are my clients who I work with. And then there's going to be people who watch this video who work with me in other capacities. And so to show up here and to make a commitment to share not only myself, but like my insights and wisdom and my stories along the way is very, very vulnerable for me. And I have hid behind that for a really, really long time. And I totally call myself out on that. Like I totally call myself out. I'm the type of person who will keep it in and think about it as opposed to like sharing it. And I see now that like I find value in the voice that I have and the stories that I have to share. And then though that they might not be the most glorious stories, or they might not be filled with all the success and glamour that some people have to share about their life, like it is at the end of the day my life, and it is things that have happened. And so full transparency, I'm just going to show up and I'm going to do these videos and I'm going to deliver the message, and whatever it is that wants to come through is going to come through. And it's sometimes not going to be pretty. I might show up just looking as is. 9 times out of 10, you're going to hear my 2 crazy, amazing children in the background screaming. You know, like, I don't think it's about that. It's just about sitting here and sharing the message with you. So I think for this first video, it's funny because longtime Eminem fan, full disclosure, like when he says he gets up on stage and literally feels like fucking puking, like mom spaghetti's coming up, like that's how I felt when I thought about making this first video. And I fully realized that it's fear that shows up for me. It's fear of being seen. It's fear of sharing my story. It's fear of people not listening, or fear of what people might say when they do hear the stories that I share. Fear of people thinking I'm full of bullshit, fear of not getting it right. And I mean, and what does it even mean to get it right? So yeah, fear has shown up for me in a lot of ways throughout my whole entire life. And honestly, looking back now, obviously, I see that has held me back in a lot of different ways. And it's also made me make choices. It didn't make me, it's played a big part in the choices that I've made in minimizing my true capacity to live life till its fullest. So instead of facing the fear and doing the things another way and doing what I like intuitively get the ping to do the first time, I'll sugarcoat it and water it down and make it to something that feels more comfortable. But in all reality, that has led me to a point to where, like the last couple of years, I would say probably at least the last 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. I've been at this place in my life where I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, and sorry if you don't like cussing, you might want to hit stop now, because full transparency, I swear a lot. Cuss like a sailor. It is what it is. But I'm like, shit, like, I really have not allowed myself to live my life to the fullest. Like there is so much more that I have in me that I could be doing that I'm not tapping into. Like I literally am a creative, innovative powerhouse. This brain in here, like I have read more books than probably most. In my college years, I literally probably lived in the library or was partying my ass off. That's for another live stream, another story. But literally, like I've found solace in books for a really long time, and I could bury myself in a book and it just felt comfortable for me. So I realized that I have lots of wisdom and words to share. And about going back about 4 or 5 years ago, I was just at this point where I was really not feeling like excited about life anymore. Like I felt like there was more I needed to do. I was in this weird transition at a job where I had like spent a lot of time invested in that job and was planning to take that job over and have that job be my own. You know, I was going to be an entrepreneur. I was kind of, I want to say fresh out of college, but it was like my first big gig out of college, and I had the potential to buy the business. And like, I was excited. Like I was so excited. And long story short, it was like a business deal that had went bad. And no, you know, hard feelings towards the person who I was in the business with, you know, like I can say that I approached the situation knowing what it was, but in the end, it turned out to be, they weren't being fully transparent with what was really going on. And it took a banker for me to tell me, like, are you really sure that this is something you want to make an investment in? Because it's probably not the right choice. And as hard as that pill was to swallow, like I had to make a choice in that moment of, am I going to keep going on with something that doesn't feel 100% in integrity with who I am, just for the sake of owning the business? Or am I going to take control of the situation and offer, come back with a counter offer that felt good for me, that I knew that I would be able to kind of capitalize on and really build the business from. So I chose the latter. I came back to them and I made an offer for the business at a price that was obviously lower than what they were originally offering it to me for. And they said that they weren't going to take it, like that wasn't part of the deal, that I had known all along. Anyways, long story short, it was in that moment I had 2 weeks to find a new job. Like, obviously the business deal wasn't going to pan out, like it was over. And that's fine, whatever, like I knew that the company was going to take over for a new ownership and I wasn't going to want to work underneath anyone else. And so it really was like, I would say 6 months prior to that event happening, when I knew I was getting ready to kind of take over the business and prepare to onboard myself as being an entrepreneur and like show up as that person in life, that I really started like seeking and questioning, like, who am I? Like, what am I here to do? Is this business something that I really want to do? And there was a lot of aspects of that business that excited me. And but obviously it didn't work out for a reason. And so all of that to say that, like, that's landed me here today. Like, I have literally been on this road for the last 5 or 6 years, just like not feeling truly like I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing in the world. And there's always something more to do. And when I look at the underlying factors of why I'm still not where I want to be in life, it's because fear has stepped in along the way, or my ego has stepped in along the way and prevented me from making the decision that was like that intuitive ping that came to me from the very first moment. And I know I'm not alone in that. Like, I know many people experience that, and so how do you overcome that? Like, what is it that you do that can pull you out of those states of fear? Well, obviously it's like a lifelong pattern for me. Like, this has been running and allowing myself to be entrenched in the fear has been a lifelong pattern for me. So trying to retrain myself to not do those things has been so fucking hard. It's been so fucking hard. And it's been like the one thing that I've known I needed to do along the entire way, but I haven't fucking did it. And I haven't fucking did it because it's so much easier to step back and be in the comfort zone. And so that's why today when I showed up, I mean, I had a million different excuses of why I didn't want to start this. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to come on camera. I didn't want to share my story, but I'm fucking here and I'm doing it. And I mean, maybe I get 1 view, maybe I get 10 views, maybe nobody fucking views. But I think the bigger thing is I'm doing this for me and I'm sharing my story. And this is kind of like a therapeutic way for me to get off of my chest all of the things that have been holding me back. And if I can help other people along the way, then that's fucking great, And so, yeah, the call to action really today for this short little snippet. And I've titled this, daily drips of motivation to drown out the ego, because really it is our egoic thoughts that keep us held in places that don't necessarily feel good, but they feel comfortable. But being comfortable isn't always going to get you to where you want to be. For some people, they're okay with just living a comfortable life. For others, they're not. And I'm part of the other people. So this is me showing up, facing the fear, and I'm asking you to do the same today. And so I would ask you to pick, well, first make a list of all the ways that fear shows up in your life, and make a list of the way that fear has held you back from achieving your goals. And then make a choice today to do one thing to step outside that comfort zone, to face the fear. And, if you resonate with the words that are in this video, I would love for you to drop a comment down below. If there's specific topics that challenge you every day as far as fear, I would love to hear those as well. I'm kind of just going to show up here and share whatever message intuitively I'm guided to share every day. And for those who it's meant to hear, will resonate with it, and those who don't, keep it moving. Like, I don't care, but this is me here in full transparency showing up. So thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.